Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the Lowbot Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Josh.
And we are back at the Bachelor Pad. We are back at the Trap House. We are back at the
Crackden.
Crackden,
The one
baby.
and only Crackden.
Yes. Unfortunately, we had to miss last week due to a slight scheduling issue,
Your scheduling issue?
and we lost track of time.
It
is what it is.
It happens. We are grown men.
You tell me it's my scheduling issue. I left here at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the time from when
Wait,
I
it
got
wasn't
here
6.
to
It was like
6
5.
p.m.?
It was like 5 o'clock. It was like 5 o'clock.
What about the
Let's be
time
honest.
from when I got here to 5? Was that still my fault? Or was that our fault?
I'm going to put it on you.
I'll take double blame here. You know what? That's fine. It is my fault we missed last week, but we're back this week.
I'll take the blame next time.
That is
We'll take
just fine.
turns. We'll take turns.
We are back this week. Not too much has happened in the basketball world since I've.
I mean, you can say that. There's a lot of drama.
We're going to talk
know?
about that because we talked about it a little bit during the week. We didn't talk about it too much, but we both agreed.
You know what? It shouldn't be the NBA. It should be the NDA. National Drama Association.
Woo!
There's so much drama.
Get him!
It's so spicy,
It's just
man.
reality TV
It really is.
with a bit of sport thrown in.
It is. Like, we had we got to talk on the Jokic thing. We got to talk on the Gobert thing, even though that was
I forgot about Gobert.
Yeah, everyone forgets about Gobert.
I forgot it happened yesterday, right?
It happened yesterday. A little bit of a rustle tussle. You know, there's so much going on. But you, my dear host, my lovely host, where do you want to start?
You know what? We'll start with the Jokic thing because let's just get it out the way because we both agree it'll be a short conversation. For those who've been living under a rock who haven't seen the Jokic Heat thing from earlier on in the week, garbage time after Nuggets were spanking the Miami Heat.
It's like 17 points, right?
Yeah. Markeith, one of the Morrises, hit Jokic with a shoulder check mid-jump. Not that Jokic jumps very high, but it was mid-jump in garbage time. No need for it. And he walked away, thinking, nothing's going to happen. I'm me, right? Then Jokic gives him the old shoulder to the spine. Morris falls down and then, lays on the floor for a bit. And there's a bit of a tussle, a bit of back and forth, I'll fight you in the back.
Oh, yeah. So the frustrating thing about this whole thing is, obviously, everyone's watched it by now. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Jokic got suspended one game. Markieff Morris, I think it was Markieff, whatever. One of the Morris twins, I don't give a shit. They're both garbage. Got fined $50,000.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then the funniest thing is Jimmy Butler also got fined $30,000 for trying to instigate, which is hilarious. But my big issue with this is I think it's Marcus. Marcus Morris is just unbelievably such an asshole throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
MVP of the league, all right? Rightfully spanking your team by 17 points in the fourth. It wasn't just a shoulder check. His knee goes into Jokic's knee, which is injured before.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like, in the past, I've always said, I love assholes on the court. You know, I love people that are not afraid to
Talk shit.
Take a jab every now and then, and talk shit. I love the physicality. It reminds me of the 90s. But you should never try and injure someone.
Correct.
And to me, that's what that looked like.
It was not needed. It wasn't a play at the rim. It wasn't a play at the ball. It was a play at him.
Yep, absolutely. And like, you can shoulder check someone all you want. I don't give a shit. Jokic is built to take that. He's a big dude. But not the knees. Stay away from the knees. It reminded me very much of like an old Zaza Pachulia play where he would actively go for ankles and knees anywhere in the leg region, like to try and injure Westbrook and stuff like that. I hated that. And that's what that looked like. And I think that's getting overlooked because a lot of what's being shown is like to, general media is just like the one first angle where it looked like a shoulder check. There's obviously the other angle, which we've all seen, where it's from behind and you can see that knee just going to the side of Jokic's knee and it buckle. I'm just like, that could have been
It could have been way worse.
Like, can you imagine, you're a Denver fan, losing Jokic, you've no longer got Murray, you've no longer got MPJ, you've got Will Barton on the squad.
Yeah.
That's devastating, and that almost happened.
Done. Yeah, that's our season done then.
Why is he only fined $50,000?
I don't know.
And that's the most bullshit thing to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, like, I get that Jokic had to be suspended. That's one game is
That's
like
fine.
the max.
That's fine. That's
it
the
is
rules.
what it is. But $50,000?
Yeah, it's nothing.
garbage. And then Jimmy Butler trying to act like the hard motherfucker.
And then
Like,
the photo
come
of the Heat boys in the tunnel.
Oh, it's so good.
They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the thing that annoys me. Marcus Morris wouldn't have done that to another MVP. He wouldn't have done that to Giannis. He wouldn't have done that to LeBron. He wouldn't have done that to KD. He wouldn't have done that to Steph. But no, he did it to Jokic.
Well, you've said this time and time again. The Morris twins are fake tough.
Yes, they're
Right.
fake tough guys.
And look, they'd beat my ass, and not
Yep.
in a sexy way.
No,
They'd
no.
beat that.
They're,
and I'd
they're
be
like
fucked.
6'6", 6'8". They'll beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
But they're not as tough as they think.
They're not. They just love instigating
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then they tuck their tail between their legs when shit gets tough. Like, he was laying in the fetal position for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
And like Shaq and Barkley said, you know, if you wanna foul someone like Morris fouled Jokic, why would you turn your back?
Yeah, I think, nothing's going to happen.
Like, we know Jokic has these tendencies to flip out.
I've said it before to you. He has temper tantrums.
Yeah.
It happens, right? That's part of his flaw. He's going to hit you back.
I just, man, this whole thing. And then, like, last night we saw the Gobert and Miles Turner Russell tussle. That was quite funny because nothing happened.
Nothing was going to happen. And then
Nothing
did you see
happened.
Gobert's statement after?
Yeah.
Gobert,
Y'all
I swear
ain't tough.
so many NBA players think they're tough.
Yeah. I mean, and then time and time again, there's always like, you know, NBA players aren't fighters. We don't
No,
fight.
no.
You know, and I appreciate the honesty. And I do like, you know, when halfway through a game and then all of a sudden men have their hands on each other, and that sounds really gay. But it kind of adds to the drama on the court,
No, it
right?
does. Yeah, it makes
You
it
know,
more intense.
I like it. Like when we, I
Little
don't think,
pushy wushy and things are fine.
yeah, a little pushy wushy to the tushy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Little bit of pushy wushy tushy and it makes it more intense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, as fans, you know, if you watch that Gobert Miles Turner thing, you know, it's nowhere near on the same level as the Jokic thing.
No.
But everyone's like, oh, you know, it looks silly. They're not even fighting. They're just wrestling. It's stupid. Like, but it adds to the intensity of the game.
Do you remember when after KD went to Golden State and he played his first game back at OKC and him and Russ were like face to face yelling
like
at each other?
noggin to noggin?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Love that
I love
shit.
that.
Love
that
it.
makes it more intense because they're both super competitive, super physical players. But, you know, when it gets to hip checking, shoulder checking, that's a different story.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Like I said, you can do whatever you want. Do not. There are two things that you do not do in any sport, any organized sport, professional, amateur, whatever it is. You don't talk shit about someone's mother, and you don't try and injure someone.
KG's done both.
That is, yeah. Look,
Look,
but he gets the pass for a lot of shit. Actually,
he shouldn't.
he shouldn't, but he was just such a good player. Like, I guarantee you, if the Morris twins were actually good, they'd get a pass for some of this stuff. You know, it's
wild to
and
think
hear me out. Like, Grayson Allen, people love him now. I've always liked Grayson Allen
I don't know why people like him.
because he's playing good. Like, he's become a
still
really good player.
A complete piece of shit.
Yeah, on the court, he's a real piece of work. But it gets overlooked now because, oh no, he knows how to defend. He can put the ball in the hole. He can handle the ball. He's so much better than the Morris twins. It's like...
I wouldn't say so much better.
Oh no, he's like, if you watch Milwaukee the past couple of weeks...
He's on Milwaukee?
Yeah, he's on Milwaukee.
thought he was still at Memphis.
No, he's on Milwaukee. And because Middleton's been out for a while, he has replaced Middleton. And I'm not
Shut
even
up.
I'm not exaggerating.
I haven't watched any Milwaukee this week.
And you want to think it's not those aren't my words. Those are Milwaukee fans' words. It's hilarious, and he's stepped up so much. But that's why he gets that pass, is because he's actually a good player now.
I guess. I don't want to stay on this topic too long. We just had to address it as it's sort of the big thing for the week.
It was just a very long-winded way to me talk about Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Like you need to find a way.
Well, just quickly before, because I'm never going to get to talk about Grayson Allen again.
Never. This is your chance.
I was listening to not Kevin O'Connor, the other one. The mismatch pod.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, my mind's
Verno.
blanking. Verno. And he's met Grayson Allen, and he knows a lot of people which has met Grayson Allen, and Verno's met
Being
a lot
in
of his
Memphis,
teammates
yep.
being in Memphis. And apparently, it's not even close. Grayson Allen's the loveliest dude you'll ever meet. Apparently, on the court, he gets temper tantrums, and he's a whole different dude. But off the court, he's an absolute sweet-ass angel. And I can't see that. Because he looks like, no offense, Grace Allen, I know you're watching, you look like a preppy douchebag.
Yeah. But at the same
You
time,
look like Ted Cruz.
there is no one with a bigger bias than Verno.
I know. But like...
He thinks Ja Morant should be MVP this year, last year, every year going forward.
Me too.
Not every year, but you know what I mean. Like he thinks Grizzlies are the best team in the West.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Who's the scariest team to go up in the West right now? I'm saying Grizzlies.
Warriors.
No, I think... Okay, and this isn't going to make any sense. They're 1-10.
Okay.
They're 10-1 right now.
Viewers, tune out for the next 20 seconds.
So, you verse the Warriors, you cross it off the list, it's already a loss. It doesn't matter. That's not scary because you accept it. You're not beating the Warriors. You're not beating the Warriors. The Warriors are too fucking good. They're 10-1. No team's even close to that record right now.
You're more scared of the team you can beat than the team you can't?
Because Ja's scary. Ja's scary.
I'm not talking about this. That's the stupidest thing you've ever fucking said. I'm going to remember this. I have an awful memory, but I'm going to try and remember this. When you bring up me in high school saying Jameer Nelson would be the next Iverson, I'm going to bring this up.
There's nothing stupider than that.
That.
There is no. No, okay, so what would you
That's
rather...
fucking stupid.
Have Steph drop 50 on you or get dunked on and all your bones broken by Ja Morant? I'd rather have
breaking
50.
bones.
One day.
He's breaking bones?
Metaphorical bones. It's just... Ja and this Memphis squad are scary. I don't want to verse them. I'd rather just lose to the Warriors. Because what is more heartbreaking?
Does that mean?
What is more heartbreaking? Getting whooped by 30 or going into double overtime losing by 1?
Whooped by 30.
You're fucking weird. You want to know why you answer that? Because you don't watch basketball.
I'm fucking hate
You should know this. Your team lost in double overtime.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
Was that not heartbreaking?
Yeah, in a playoff game.
Would you... And so if you versed Portland in another playoff series,
Yeah,
they whoop
not
you
gonna
by
happen.
30. They whoop you by 30. And that's more heartbreaking. Because you know by the fourth quarter you've lost.
Well, probably that
You
point,
check out
by
at
the
that
second
point.
quarter.
Oh, yeah, probably. You think that's more heartbreaking
You
than...
think... So I don't know what you're saying, Mark. I don't want to talk about this because you're not making any fucking sense.
I'm making sense. The fact that you think losing by 30 is more heartbreaking than losing in double overtime by 1.
That's not... You said Grizzlies are a scarier team than the Warriors. How so?
Because I already know I'm losing against the Warriors. I've accepted it. That's not scary. It's like accepting death. You verse the Warriors, you're accepting death. You're not going to beat them. They're too good.
It is 10:15 and I'm already done with him for the day.
Like, how do you expect to beat the Warriors? Clay's not even back. And they're the best team in the league.
They've lost.
They lost once!
Yes, but they
Once! They're 10-1!
They're not unbeatable.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about the Warriors because they are playing fucking exceptionally.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
They are. And it's not like just the best offense. They have like the best defense in the league.
And I don't think Wiggins gets enough praise for that.
No, he's become such a better player
Yeah.
since going to Golden State.
Yeah, he's really just... And I think it's because he doesn't have to take on that load. Is like, I'm the number one. You drafted me.
Yeah.
Well,
That expectation. And then he's like, I'm the number one. Now I'm going to Minnesota. I'll be the number 2. He's not really.
Yeah,
He's a great... Like, he's a great cutter.
He's
Alright, spot-up
the
shooter.
Harrison Barnes of this squad.
I think he's better than Harrison Barnes.
Oh, he is, absolutely. But he plays the same role. Like,
Yeah,
I can
he
drop
really did.
15 to 20. I can defend, but I don't have to. Especially when Clay gets back.
Yeah.
They're going to be such... Like, and Clay's one of the best two-way players in the league when he was healthy.
Yeah.
You know? And that's Wiggins right now. So if you've got... You've always said the league runs through wings. It always has, always kind of will. And if you get 2 great wing defenders... and scorers.
That was the
Steph?
dynasty. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Iggy's still a good defender.
Is Wiggins the next KD? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
But no, it's Wiggins
what
deserves so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
praise.
Yeah, he's elevated his game. He's become a bit more well-rounded player. And yeah, I'm very excited for where this Golden State team is. Back to where they were, and they're only most likely to get better, right? No one expected fucking Gary Payton II to be this good.
What was that stat where like all 3 or 4 times he checked into the game, he got a steal within his first like 5 seconds? That's stupid.
That is a mind
That's
for the
stupid.
game.
That's crazy.
He's seeing the game differently than
Crazy.
most players.
Absolutely.
That's the 1% of the 1%.
And you know what I hope sticks and likely won't. So he's obviously going to become, you know, a rotation player for an NBA team properly because he was a G League guy for so long. Lakers had him for a short stint, and then now he found his way on Golden State, which is great. But you kind of see these guys once they find their place in the league, the defense, what got them their spot, goes away. You know, and I hope he
Because it's
keeps
the
that because
hustle.
we see the TJ McConnells of the world, we see the Carusos of the world, and Caruso's kind of made that his thing. But when he starts getting more and more minutes and becomes a better scorer, I hope that doesn't go away. But his history shows it does.
Yeah.
But like what we're seeing from Gary Payton II is phenomenal.
He needs to not forget what brought him to the dance. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's funny. When I first saw Gary Payton Jr., I'm like, wasn't he on the Lakers? Is this David Stockton? Am I reading this right? But no, it's Gary Payton Jr.
Yeah. No, he's real good. Like you need these high energy guys. Like Jordan Poole's another one of those guys.
He stepped up. He's taking his game to another level, which you called.
Golden State just develop players real good.
They draft well. They develop well.
Really good, man. It's second to none. Like I've always liked Jordan Poole, but I never imagined him getting 30 and 30 and 30 and 30.
Yeah.
Like that's bonkers.
Maybe
man.
30 every 2 seasons. Maybe has an explosion, but not like consistently scoring high numbers.
Like if it's gotten to the point where if I look at the box score, Steph's got 15 to 20. I'm like, okay, Jordan Poole's probably got 30. You know,
Wild.
and like the fact.
Why? Yeah. When are you gonna think
Wiggins, Clay, Jordan Poole, snipers, and just high energy guys. It's a lot when you add in Steph and you've still got Draymond.
Draymond's shooting better again too.
Yeah.
I think he's shooting more than he was during his down years, and he's getting his touch back again. But he's shooting better.
Didn't Draymond touch on like why he had some shooting woes for a period?
I think so.
It was like when he's a bit susceptible to harsh words.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people started talking about like how bad of a shooter he was, and then when he started missing, it just got worse and worse and worse.
Kills your confidence.
Yeah, it kills your confidence, and it was cool for him to admit that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I didn't think Draymond would ever admit to being a victim of harsh words.
He's a surprisingly very open and honest person, despite having a harsh exterior.
Yeah, and I think that's the best of both worlds, right?
100%.
It's the saying: if you're gonna dish bullshit, you got to be able to take bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and Draymond's always shown to
Do both.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's why we love him.
100%.
But this squad looks scary. Like, do you see them going to the finals?
It's too early to say. You know, it's not even December.
I'm gonna say yes.
Really?
I'm gonna say yes.
You don't know if they're going to peter
Look,
out.
The Clippers are struggling.
Yep.
Lakers are obviously
The West
struggling.
is the weakest it's
Yeah.
looked in like years and years and years.
Like, I love the Grizzlies. They're not making the finals.
No.
You know, Utah right now they're struggling a little bit. They started off hot. They're struggling a little bit.
If they continue at even 80 to 90% of the play they're doing now, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the point. It's like 80%, yes. But in the past, like when you had like prime James Harden, which we have to touch on James Harden shortly.
Yeah, I want to.
But it's like even at prime James Harden on the Houston squad, we needed 110% from that squad.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like just do 80% of what you guys are doing. You should make the finals.
The West is in a weird spot because West forever essentially has been the conference, right? And now the West looks like dog shit.
I disagree. I don't think it's dog shit. I just think most teams are on such a similar level. There's no standout. There just isn't.
Do you know who the 2 seed is?
That's a good question.
Dallas.
Yeah, there's only like 1 game differences between the
Still,
which
Dallas
is
look like shit.
look. A lot of teams kind of look like shit.
Dallas look like a 5th seed in the East.
Yeah, like the East is looking really really good, but I'd still would put any West team over probably all of the East teams.
Really?
The East haven't shown. It's just nothing but drama.
The East won last year.
I know, but look at the Bucks now. They're minus 500, I believe.
Yeah.
You know,
I
below.
think 500, no?
I think they below, or maybe they just.
That's the
won.
Grayson
I don't know.
Allen trick, though. You put him in the squad, you get minus 500.
You know, they don't have Chris Middleton. He's got to take.
I know,
you know, Chris
I know.
Middleton.
He'll come back and
sometimes.
they'll be better
Yeah.
again. But yeah,
But like, I just this Philly squad, Tyrese Maxey though, holy
Yeah.
shit! I like
Another
Maxey,
leap.
but oh my god,
Yeah.
30 points, 30 points, 30 points. Is he the next Jordan Poole? No, he's insane. He's really stepped up for the absence of Ben Simmons. I do want to touch on some things with Philly. I just have to say, what are your thoughts on this whole mental illness thing with Ben Simmons? Is it real to you? Is it bogus? How do you feel? You think it's real?
I think he similar, like he takes harsh words very personally, and seeing his name in the media constantly. We already knew like harsh words affected him for years and years and years, right? And it's now more than ever, and I think it's real.
I'm calling bullshit.
You're calling bullshit?
I think it's just too much
Yeah.
at this point. The fact that you made, like we spoke about it before, like you made it there, you came back, and then you just ditched because you didn't want to play. Like his whole thing was, I don't want to play. I want to be traded. It just feels bullshit. But then so Tyrese Maxey is really stepping up for that role. But then Joel Embiid is having, in the rumors, have more health issues.
But did you see who's stepping up?
Who's stepping up?
My boy, Andre Drummond.
Is he though?
He actually has. He's
Look,
actually
he almost
stepped
had
up.
like 20 and 20 game, right? Yeah.
He had the most rebounds in Philly history in like 50 years.
What you want as a Philly fan is to become Detroit. You want Andre Drummond to play like he does in Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely lying. That's garbage. You do not want that. It means you're in a really bad spot.
Drummond, look, he's not great. I'll
He's
admit
good.
that.
He's good.
He's good. He's not great. He's playing some of the best basketball he's played when Embiid's been out. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'll say. I'm not going to argue for much else.
You're not wrong.
But he's played very well when Embiid has been out.
No, he has. You know, he's stepped up. But I'm looking at like Tobias Harris hasn't been great this year.
No.
You know, Embiid's had the health issues. The only bright side has been Maxey. Like Thibault hasn't stepped up the way I'd hope so. Like I was hoping for a little bit more offensively.
more.
Even Luke
Seth
Dort,
Curry's
I'm
been
getting
good.
more. Seth Curry's always good, but he's not going to win you games.
No.
That's the thing. And I am worried if I'm a Philly fan.
Oh, yeah.
Because my best player sometimes just isn't on the court for his own damn health issues. And I don't have a Ben Simmons. Like, say all you want about Ben Simmons. He can score 30, 10, and 10 if it's only him on the court.
Yeah.
And he can win you games with his defense. Without that, because Maxey can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, he's a one-way guy. He's a high-energy guy, but he's a one-way guy. He's a
He's
spark
not going to
plug.
impact the defensive end.
Yeah.
He's a good six man, and that's great. Like some of the best teams in history had incredible six
Yeah.
men.
But like, if I'm still not getting what I want from Tobias Harris, and I'm just without a playmaker as well.
Yeah.
These guys like Danny Green and all these guys on the wing that are just shoot threes. How are they going to shoot threes? Danny Green's not a playmaker.
No. He
You
needs
know?
someone to get him the ball in his spots.
It's like, what are they going to... Like, I want a CJ McCollum on this team. I want a playmaker. Give me a Karis LeVert. I don't give a shit. Just give me a playmaker.
Well, there was obviously, it's been on the news now, but there was the talks of them trading Ben Simmons to Celtics, and they wanted Jalen, and Celtics are like,
Nah.
phone at that point. And they're not getting Jalen.
No one's getting Jalen.
No, like, that was a silly thing to ask for.
They've been asking for silly shit. Give me Dame, give me Jalen.
Yeah.
If you can give me one of those two, I'm not talking to any of you guys. I just don't get it, man. Like, Jaylen Brown is looking like one of the best players in the league right now. I know he's out for a couple of weeks. I did want to touch on Boston, if I may.
Yeah,
kind sir.
we can talk about them briefly.
So obviously there were a lot of issues coming out with the Marcus Smart comment. I think it was a couple of weeks ago now, but we couldn't do the episode last week. So the comments with Marcus Smart coming out and saying, you know, we're losing games. These guys don't pass.
Yeah.
Meaning
Essentially,
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
That's essentially what he said.
Yeah. Like, these guys want to score. They're young. They just don't pass. What were your thoughts immediately when you read that and heard that?
Correct.
Correct.
Like he's right. Their scorers first. And especially when your shot's not falling, you should look to pass. The best players, the best scorers in history, mid to later in their career, learnt to pass.
Yep.
Kobe, towards the end of his career, learned to pass a bit more at the post. KD learned it in Golden State. LeBron's always been it. Jordan did a little bit mid to late of his career. Jalen, and Jason Tatum haven't gotten to that point. And it may not happen right away, but eventually, if they find their shots not falling, they need to pass the ball sometimes. How about your thoughts?
I agree entirely. It's passing is one of those abilities which is really, really hard to teach because it's so many things. It's vision, it's timing, it's
just the feel, it's the soft touch. It's
so much.
So much.
I am a bit confused by it coming from Marcus, though.
Yeah.
Because he's meant to be a defensive anchor for the team.
Right.
And they're the bottom half in defensive efficiency.
Yeah.
They never used to be.
No.
But his efforts obviously dwindled
Yeah.
with this Celtic squad. And I think maybe it is partly due to playing alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown because they don't pass. They are the scorers of the squad. You know, we very rarely see these high effort plays from Marcus Smart, though. We see a lot of these high effort plays from the other two guys.
So here's a bit of food for thought. Marcus Smart primarily is a shooting guard. And he works best, to me, as a sixth man. He's their starting point guard.
That's the next thing I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
So besides Marcus Smart, look at, these are some of the point guards they've had. Starting point guards. Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, and what's the other? Terry Rozier.
Yeah.
You know, and then Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
None of them pass. None of them are playmakers.
No, they're all scorers.
All scorers.
Yeah.
And you're running two wings.
Yeah. Two strong scoring wings.
You need a playmaker.
Yeah.
It's not on Marcus Smart to be a playmaker. It's not a playmaker. Don't expect him to be.
No.
But this team, the last 4 or 5 years, has not had one playmaker on this team. And I think that's where it's struggling. I do agree with Marcus Smart, where it's like, guys do need to learn to pass. It can't just be your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn. It doesn't make sense. You're not going to win a chip like that. But it is on the front office at some point
to get a playmaker.
Get a Ricky Rubio, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Get someone which is going to keep the flow of the offense going. Keep these guys going to keep everyone in it. Because, like, we've just seen so many high-level guys come into the squad and it not work out. And I've realized that without a
pass-first guard.
Pass-first guard that can run the offense and make it an efficient offense, a smooth offense, a flowing offense, how is this going to work?
Exactly.
Because you're not going to stop Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum from scoring 20 to 30 points. Not going to happen. But you can stop them from winning.
Yep.
You know?
You can make them less efficient.
Absolutely. Like, we talked about how great offensively those two are and great defensively they are. And on paper, it was like, why is this team not winning?
Yeah.
Why are they underachieving?
The league runs through wings. They've got some of the best wings.
Yeah.
Why is that not bringing up the dubs?
There's no one helping the flow of that offense.
No.
It's so stagnant. And I understand why Brad Stevens had such an issue with it. And maybe that's why he went into the front office and is like, Kemba's not it. He doesn't pass. He's a scorer. Not a great scorer anymore at that.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Maybe his goal is to try and get a pass-first point guard. That's what I'm hoping for. And I hope that... I imagine that'll bring life back to, you know, Marcus Smart and things like that. Because Marcus Smart's not a great ball handler.
If only
He's not a facilitator.
During the off-season, there was some pass-first defensive guards they could have picked up, like Caruso or Lonzo.
Well, did you hear about what happened with Caruso?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, because it's not widely out there, JJ Redick had Caruso on the podcast, his own podcast, and he asked Caruso, like, how'd you end up in Chicago? You know, that was, no one expected that.
No.
So Chicago offered them a deal. Caruso went back to the Lakers and was like, can you match this deal? Lakers was like, no, we can't match it. It was like, can you do less? I want to be in LA.
Yeah.
Let's
He
do
said,
less.
can you give me a bit less? I want to stay.
Still said no. I feel I'm not even in charge, and I feel like I've wronged Caruso. Caruso's a great fucking player.
Yeah.
And they're just... I didn't hear anything about Boston coming his way. Like, some of these teams need guys like this. You don't need a 30 points per game scorer in the one position. You just need someone which is going to help the offense and defense. And that's what Caruso does. That's what Rubio does.
Can you imagine Lonzo in Boston right now? He's also, Lonzo being like the best three-point shooter in the league currently off catch and shoot threes.
Yep.
Incredible.
There are so many, like, and I have to give praise to Chicago for the fact that they knew that they didn't need, you know, obviously they did get the Vucevic, they did get the DeRozan, but it was like, they got smart talent first.
Yep.
And that's what you need. You know, you can get a Kemba Walker, but if you don't surround Kemba Walker with smart talent, when he's off the court, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of what
Knicks
Charlotte
picked up
have done.
Fournier.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's a
Right.
good fucking pickup.
Yeah. Like, the fans may not care about Fournier initially. You know, when you hear that
You'll
on
learn.
paper, it's like, oh, whatever. You know, it's not a Brandon Ingram. It's not a KD.
Yeah.
But, like, he's damn good.
He's fucking good.
It's like when you pick up a Gallinari. It's
Yep.
damn good.
It's damn good. You pick up an Austin Rivers. Not to the same extent, but guess what? He's going to catch.
still
He's
plays.
going to shoot.
Yeah, like, and he can run the 2 squad. You
Yep.
know, there's so much these players can do, and I haven't seen any sign of Boston doing that for the past 4 or 5 years.
They
really haven't.
They have to do it this offseason.
They have to, because it's going to get way too toxic real too quick. Because this is the second or third time Marcus Smart has had an outburst.
Yeah.
This is the first time to the public.
Yeah.
So, and my initial thoughts when I first heard that, when he came out to the bubble, he's like, these guys need to learn to pass, is I believe he's already expressed frustrations to the team.
Yes.
This is a last resort.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. It's 100% happened internally, and it's now leaked out via him.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look, I hope Brad Stevens can figure it out at a GM.
He's a smart man.
Very smart.
He's very good at X's and O's. I have no doubt he'll be able to figure it out in the front office. This will be his first off season. Okay, the coach's first season. You've got a year essentially. Figure it out. I think they will.
Yeah. It just almost feels like Ime's being made as a scapegoat almost.
I don't want him to be because I don't like new coaches being out of scapegoats because being a coach in this league is fucking tough.
Oh my god.
Who was it that talked about it? He was under Ty Lue. Billups.
Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, we talked about this in the pod, I think. He was like, yeah, Ty Lue's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
He spends like 20 hours a day around basketball.
Yeah.
And focusing on the fucking
It's 24/7 basketball. It's a whole dedication, and you understand why these coaches get paid millions to do it.
And a lot of people have clowned Ty Lue, us included. And because we don't see how much knowledge he actually fucking has.
You know what? It just dawned on me because you know when we offered Ty Lue a deal when we first got Bron before Frank Vogel, and it was a deal which matched Bron's contract, which is significantly less than what coaches usually get in terms of years, apparently. And apparently that was very insulting, and he immediately turned it down. And at the time, I'm like, but it's a head coaching gig. You get to coach Bron, you're pretty much, slated for another finals run.
Yeah.
Having you two together. And then it just dawned on me. It was like the amount of work, 24/7 work, year in, year out, you're putting me on someone else's timeline. That is disrespectful.
Yeah. And with Bron, you never get as much credit.
Yeah, like that is disrespectful. And now I can understand why you'd turn that down.
100%.
If you're a coach with proven to make the finals and win the championship, I deserve a little more respect than you matching me up with a player's timeline.
Yep, 100%.
Give me the usual deal.
Give me the respect I've deserved and that I've earned.
Because I don't just hit the gym and head out. I'm here 24/7.
Yeah.
And that's, I coaches don't get enough credit, and they, admittedly they get a lot of hate.
They get a lot of flack.
Rightfully so a lot of the time. But some of these coaches just need to hang in there with them. Silas is going through.
He's going through
bunch
the
of crap.
ringers right now.
They're like, 1 in 10? Like the anti-Golden State?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that worked out? The two teams always pitted against each other, and now they're the opposite again.
Yeah.
It's wild to me.
It is weird. Do you want to talk about Rockets real quick?
We can talk about Rockets.
So, Rockets are an interesting spot because obviously after Harden and Chris Paul, they're like, we're rebuilding, which is fine. They were very strong for a long period of time. They made a great acquisition in Christian Wood, and then they've gotten a lot of young pieces. Kevin Porter Jr., what was the guy this year? Jalen Green. I feel like they got one guy from last year. But they've gotten a lot of young pieces.
John Wall, baby.
Okay.
You almost went with me.
So John Wall, there's sources saying he isn't going to play for the rest of the year, and it's like they're trying to trade him, but they can't because his contract, and his play matches his contract.
Last year, they said they already parted ways. They're just keeping him around right now to help the growth of the young guys.
Yeah.
And that's clever.
That's fine. That's smart. You've got him, use him in some respect. But there's also concerns about Christian Wood. Have you read any of this?
No.
So, Christian Wood, from many sources from in time in Detroit as well,
Yep.
is on court, he's incredible. But he's an absolute baby and is selfish and not a good team player.
Really?
So there are sources saying he's not getting enough shots and he's frustrated that his shots are getting taken away for the other guys. Because you've got to remember, he's like 26. He's not on the same timeline as Jalen Green. And I'm not saying what he's doing is justified, but if you can look from his point and understand it, he proved himself in Detroit, and now he had the chance for him to step up and be the number one guy. Now he's no longer that number one guy.
And he looked really good last year.
He did.
Like he
incredible.
was, as soon as he went out, they didn't win a game, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, but I have more stock in Jalen Green.
Yeah.
You know,
And most people do. So he's now lots of stuff coming out. Like, yeah, he's always had a really poor attitude and not a great team player.
The frustrating thing about this is, and he's a big as well. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to be a big in the league.
6'10", 6'11".
But you're a big that can regularly get 20 and 10.
Yeah.
You know, you're not a defensive liability, in my opinion.
No. Very
You
talented
can
scorer.
be your Jarrett Allen to the Garland and Sexton and Mobley. You know, you can be the Gobert to, you know, the Joe Ingles and Donovan Mitchell. You don't have to be that guy. You can contribute to winning basketball just by playing and being you. You don't need to be the number one guy. Because you're never going to be, and this is the saying, I heard this years and years ago, and I've always gone by it. You know, no matter what you have, you know, you could have a nice house, nice car, nice clothes, or you could be, you know, great at something. There's always going to be someone that has it better than you.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think Christian Wood understands that. Like, Jalen Green is a better scorer than you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. They're going to run the offense through him. You're not going to get as many shots as him.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to have your nights, though.
Yeah.
You're going to be the second option. It's on you to understand that. So many of these guys, like, you look at historically who's won the championship, it's never 50-50. Even Dwayne Wade and Bron. It was Bron, then Dwayne Wade.
And then Bosch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always 60-40.
You can't
Or
force
more.
yourself to be the one. Like
No.
you said, it's 60-40 or more, right? And right now, it's 60 Jalen Green. And you could very well be the 40.
Yeah. And there's no shade to the 40.
No.
The 40 is some of the best.
You need it. Like,
In the Warriors run, Steph was the 40.
This is, yeah, absolutely. Like, you look at Michael Jordan. He was a 60, but he needed the 40.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he had the Scottie Pippens. He had the Luke Longleys.
There's no 60 without a 40.
Yeah, and it's so crucial. LeBron's not going to get a chip unless he has a Kyrie Irving. He didn't get the chip unless he had an Anthony Davis. And being an Anthony Davis is damn fucking good.
Yep.
You could be that. And I don't like that attitude. I've not heard that at all. That's very new to me because I really liked Christian Wood.
I read it during the week. It was like deep in the Reddit and it didn't pop up to the top because I was just doing a deep dive after a long day. And I just read that. I'm like, take a mental note of that.
That's interesting. Because how did they get Christian Wood? It's been a while now.
They signed him.
They signed him, okay.
Yeah, his deal ended in Detroit and they signed him.
Okay, because that's interesting to me because that, I guess, lines up because maybe Detroit didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not worth all that money.
Detroit were also rebuilding on a slower timeline.
Yeah.
And maybe Christian Wood are like, they're not going to win anytime soon. Rockets might be winning.
Could you, like, this is probably a good thing. Can you imagine re-signing Christian Wood?
Yeah.
Right? And then a year later you get Cade, who instantly takes up all the shots?
Yeah.
That is going to break his fucking heart.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's just going to be rough.
Yeah. There is a former Rockets player I want to talk about. One of my favorite players.
James Harden.
Yes.
When you said former, I thought retired.
So, no, he's not retired. We're not talking about Vernon Maxwell here. But yeah, James Harden. I do want to chat on him real quick because there is no way that man is not injured. He looks like he is at 40% capacity.
Yeah.
Regardless of the rule changes, he's not even running right. He's not jumping right. He looks like MPJ when he tweaked his back a couple of games ago.
I don't see any effort from this man.
Yeah.
And that's unusual.
He's normally the Iron Man. Play all 82 games, play 40 minutes a night, and it's not there.
Yeah. Was it like a hamstring injury we think it is?
He's had a hamstring injury over the off-season, but that should have healed. So there has to be something because he's not even giving it 60%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see it from him. And it has to be an injury thing. That's where my mind lies. He does need to. What I'm hoping for though is he starts to get a little bit more clever with it. He's still trying the same shit that he's used to, and he's getting called for it, which I'm so happy he is.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting called for it.
But he's just not playing clever.
He's not.
But
Yeah, like I'm glad he's getting called for the hooking the arm foul. It's good for the league. One thing I have noticed, he's getting, even times where he will get fouled, refs won't call it because they're used to him hooking the arm.
I did want to touch on this.
Yeah.
And I might get flamed for it a little bit, but this is how I honestly feel. The one thing that keeps coming to mind is what's that story, like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, a little bit, right? I
Like,
thought the same thing.
It's on you, James. Like you've done this.
You've
year
made your
after
bed.
year. Yeah. Like what do you expect? They have to officiate you differently.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing they can do is start giving you these calls again. It is better to make the mistake of not giving you the call than giving you the call if it shouldn't be there. And it'll be corrected over time. I hope it does.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone should be getting
But
the right
right
calls.
now, this is how it has to be.
This is what you did.
Yeah.
You know, this is on him. Did you see... we can talk more about Houston and James Harden in general, but did you see what Dame came out and said recently about the officiating?
Yeah.
It
needs to be fixed.
Needs to be fixed.
This ain't
Are
right.
you kidding me? And the thing he said where it's like, I'm not one of those guys that ever did those ticky-tacky fouls.
He did.
Yes, you did.
He 100% did.
I love you, Dame, but god damn.
Dame,
You were one of
do a bit of self-reflection.
the biggest abusers of it.
Yeah, you were not just as bad, but like you weren't great. He didn't get the flack for it because he's the people's champ, he's the people's player, but like he did a lot.
Like, goddamn, because I've always liked Dame because I've always thought he was honest and upfront and humble. Mm-hmm. That's the one time I'm like, oh, that's straight bullshit.
Bit of self-reflecting needs to happen there,
please
Damien.
do. Look in the mirror, my man. Come on.
Yeah, nah.
It's like I know you watch film.
Yeah.
Watch film on yourself.
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
dear
100%,
God.
100%. But yeah, like I like the new rule changes. You know, I understand that, you know, Harden made his own bed. I understand, I agree. He's gonna get these fouls, but yeah, he's also injured as well. I don't know what
he definitely got one. And my concern is why are they playing him if he's injured?
I don't know.
Because they know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Surely they know.
They can't afford to run him every game with a lingering injury when you know you're going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. This is where, okay, Harden, you're playing 40 minutes now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he isn't, but he looks it.
Because you've got KD playing the best basketball of his career.
Yeah.
Arguably. Like, he's up there. He's super efficient.
You can afford to give Harden a week or two off.
Yeah. Like, let the man heal. I don't know what it is. Whether it's emotional or physical, let the man heal.
Yeah, there's clearly something not right.
Yeah, and it's just so weird.
And do you know what the annoying thing is? When I was looking on Reddit, people are like, oh, he's just getting old. Maybe he's not that good of a player anymore.
Look,
Do you think he got old within 6 months? Shut the fuck up! Little fucking dweebs on the internet.
There are a couple of things. He's getting older, so he's not going to be as explosive because he's the change of speed for that man is crazy. I don't see that staying.
No.
With the lingering injuries is worrying. The fact is it is the second option now is obviously different. He can't handle the ball for 48 minutes like he used to. There are all those things which come into effect. You don't have an offense that ran around you. You're part of Durant's offense now. You know,
You're part of Steve's offense, Steve Nash offense.
Yeah, Steve Nash is going to make an offense for Durant. You know, and I think a lot of those culminate into what we're seeing right now. First and foremost, it's an injury. I don't care what anyone says. Woj just tweeted about it already, so the man can get some fucking rest.
They only let him rest when Woj tweets about it.
Woj holds all the power.
Harden's texting him, Woj, please. I'm in so much pain.
But they're looking like such a shit show right now.
Yeah, they're like 500.
And they're playing well.
Yeah.
They're above 500.
But they've got so much
like
drama stuff.
You don't have Kyrie. You basically don't have James Harden. Like the best game I've seen so far from James Harden in Brooklyn was like 17, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
That's not a James Harden number.
No.
I expect like 25, 15, and 15 or something.
Yeah.
You know, this just isn't... I'm not getting the James Harden that I'm used to. Yeah. Whether like, I don't like James Harden, I like KD, but like these guys can fucking play.
Yeah, this on paper should be an incredibly dominant team.
Even without Kyrie.
Yeah, even without Kyrie.
Like, You have the most efficient 3-point scorer in Joe Harris. You got guys like Bruce Brown that just high energy.
I love watching Bruce Brown. I love Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
He's one of my boys. I'm calling it now. He can be a shared boy if we need, but he's one of my boys.
Shit, boy, that's disgusting.
Pushy wushy for the cushy, whatever you said before.
Look, mine was cute.
But no, I love Bruce Brown. He's so good. He's
good.
like 6'5", can play every position on the court. He's so fucking good. But yeah, this Brooklyn team should be incredible. Patty Mills, Blake Griffin, Joe Harris.
LA, Blake Griffin.
Why aren't they... Why... It had, like...
I don't know. And you know what? Maybe it is Steve Nash he's still a very new head coach.
He is.
And he's got a lot to work with. You've got one of the most unique scorers in history, in KD, that can kind of do everything.
But then you've also got like old guys like Blake Griffin. You got old guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, but then you got these young guys like Bruce Brown, whose minutes have been cut into because of LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin. You know, it's just
Nick Claxton as well.
Weird team.
It is. It's a very senior team. It is senior circle.
It's senior, and it feels like there's no room for young guys, but they have young guys.
I have some good young guys.
And like, you guys need to start playing these guys more, because do you want LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin to be gassed by the playoffs?
Yeah.
Like,
I think they'll figure it out. I think they're still in like, they have to figure it out with 14 players without their starting two guard. You know what I mean? Which, that's rough, but I think they'll figure it out come playoff time.
KD's playing so good right now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
His efficient game from the other night is silly.
11 from 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the field.
It's insane. Orlando defense, man, facts.
I mean, I did say he did
Facts.
play. I texted you and I'm like, he did play against Orlando, but that's still silly. But
because
Brooklyn,
you know he's taking some funky shots if you're playing Orlando. And
yeah,
he still makes them.
he took it just a pull up
Yeah.
three right in Bamba's face,
Yeah.
and Mo Bamba's getting minutes.
Yeah,
He's
hell yeah. Shout out Mo
Bambalicious.
Bamba.
Shout out Mo
I
Bamba.
fucking love Cole Anthony. I said it last episode. I love Cole Anthony.
You do. He's one of your boys.
He is. He's a creepy dude, and I love it. Like, no, seriously.
Staring into the camera.
Oh, just like...
He's dead
facts.
behind those eyes.
More facts. It's just... you know what he reminds me of? Just in the eyes? Kind of reminds me of Damien from high
Yeah,
school.
I
Just the
100%.
black eyes.
The black. It's a black hole.
Yeah, it's just a black hole
It's
in
the
his
Milky
eyeballs.
Way is in there. He's a celestial being.
Oh, that's why he's so good.
Yeah,
He's so
I mean,
good.
He's not that good.
Look, he's not. He scored like 30 points once, and I'm a fan.
He hit a game winner.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about this Orlando squad? I want to touch on it for 30 seconds.
You want to touch? I don't know. I have zero.
We're never
thoughts.
talking on them for the rest
I
of the year.
literally have zero thoughts.
I think they're going nowhere. That is my thought.
No
'Cause
shit.
Suggs is struggling real bad.
Yeah.
Is being shown up by Cole Anthony, who also isn't great. But I don't know if Fultz is really real or not. Mo Bamba, shout out Mo Bamba.
I like Gary Harris.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. You
Come
don't.
back, Gary. Come back. We need players. I didn't want to trade you.
Oh my god! You know what that reminded me of is the slow kid in the back of the class. Everyone's doing show and tell, and it's like your turn, Tyler, and you're sitting there like, I like Gary Harris. You fucking idiot!
Please come back.
Look, you guys miss him though. His defense was great. He's a great two-way player.
we lost all our good defenders. And
You
we
know-
picked up Jermichael Green.
Yeah, I got no thoughts on Jermichael Green. You know who did show up recently though? Is
Will
Will
Barton.
Barton.
With
Will
Jokic out, having a glass of wine at home, Will Barton popped off for 30.
You know what's funny? So the game where it was announced he'd be suspended for, obviously, the next game. Everywhere I was seeing was like, all right, I guess next game is just Will Barton Chuck Fest.
They
And
were
the
right.
boy went
They
out,
were right.
Won, dropped over 30 points, came back with a W. Like, fuck yeah, right?
Yeah, off 50 shots.
Yeah, Will Barton Chuck Fest, baby. Look, as long as it gets the W.
That's how we walked into the locker room. Will Barton, Chuck Fest, baby. We going to the chip.
Jokic who? Get out of here.
MV me. MV me. God,
love
we're
Will Barton.
such a shit show.
I love Will Barton. But the Denver squad's rough.
Yeah.
One of the last things I wanted to
I was
touch on,
about to ask if you had any more notes.
if I may,
Let's see if I have anything. I was going to talk about Heat at some point,
because
but
there's the
I'm good.
whole Sava thing,
Yeah.
which I kind of want to talk about. And it'll be the last thing we talk about.
Yeah, we can't go too long.
No, because you'll beat my ass.
Absolutely.
So,
Adam keeps messaging me.
what does Adam want? Adam, we're in the middle of a goddamn podcast.
We'll find out later.
Respect it. So, for those that don't know, Robert Sava, horrible man. Horrible man. Have you read the articles and listened to the stories? And...
I wouldn't call him a friend of mine.
Sure. I was going to be honest. When you started that sentence, I wouldn't say is horrible.
No, I was
That's what I thought you were going to say, and that really threw me off.
I threw you off.
You did.
I tricked you. But no, I wouldn't say he's a nice person. I wouldn't consider him a friend.
All right.
He's a racist, sexist, misogynist, absolute piece of trash.
So have you heard some
To
of
put it nicely.
Yeah, look, to put it nicely, we're doing you a favor right now. Have you heard some of the stories?
A little bit. I haven't looked into it too much because I know everything will come out over time.
There's one that Raja Bell always mentions, and it really just kind of puts it into light into
Hit
how
me with it
much.
because I don't think I've heard it.
So this was when he was with Phoenix. Mm-hmm. You know, we remember watching him play for Phoenix, and there's the team bus. You know, and everyone has an allocated seat because you're going there back and forth on the same bus. Everyone has an allocated seat. You know, and then halfway through the season, Raja Bell gets on the bus, goes to the back, I think it was, to go to his seat. Notices there's a kid in his seat. Not a kid, but like, you know, young adult. And he's like, yo, it's my seat. And he's like, no, it's not. My dad owns the team. Robert Sava's kid thinks he can do whatever the fuck he wants and just goes to play. My dad owns the team. My dad owns the team. I can do what I want. That is
Spoiled rich kids.
spoiled rich shit. And the fact that you know you own a team and you're a father as well, how do you not educate your kid and say, look, respect their space. Don't blurt out shit like I own everything.
It's not where I thought you were going to go with this story.
No, there's a lot of stories.
No, you're talking about seating back of the bus.
Right,
I'm
it's-
like, woof.
Like, there's another one involving Raja Bell.
Okay.
So he has a wife, loving wife. And back in Phoenix, his wife fell pregnant. And this one's a bit of a doozy, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
His wife was pregnant while they're in Phoenix. Miscarriages. Okay?
Awful time.
Awful time.
Yeah.
And Robert Sava finds out, goes up to his wife, doesn't say, you know, sorry for your loss or anything like that, says, you're lucky Raja's around. That's it.
What does that mean?
Because Raja left the team at the time to be with his wife. Said, you're lucky Raja's around. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah.
You know she miscarriages. The whole reason you went up to her.
That is
It just
absolutely
feels
heartless.
so fucking sexist. It's like
Yeah.
you're lucky you've got that man around.
Yeah.
Like, what
Woman,
the
feeble
fuck?
woman,
Yeah.
can do nothing.
Like what the fuck? And this is surface level shit.
Yeah.
You know, there was a thing recently where I think it was I can't remember who it was, but someone came out and said a rumor apparently that Sava recently called
Oh, Jalen Rose.
yeah, Jalen Rose.
He's like, yep. He said, but to DeAndre Ayton, lazy N-word.
Yeah, you're a lazy N-word. Like, what the fuck? And that's, I'm a bit, I don't think that's
Break the man's
true.
spine.
I don't think that's true for the fact that we saw what happened with the old Clippers owner. And
yeah.
he was gone immediately as soon as shit
Because
came
if that
out.
happened, he would have been
He gone,
out the
he gone.
door.
There's no
Especially if Chris
investigation.
Paul heard, he's like, okay.
Yep.
Because Chris Paul ain't dealing with it twice.
No.
Chris Paul just bringing the
Goddamn.
racists around.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But this isn't even some of it. Like everyone, there were over 70 interviews.
Watson's
done.
got a lot of stories.
A lot. And there's just over 70 people interviewed for this to do the cases. So you know this is real.
He's going to be dead to rights.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. And it sucks. Like you said, Chris Paul's got to deal with this shit again.
Yeah, he dealt with Donald
You know?
Sterling. Now he's going to deal with Sava.
But I just don't feel like this is being dealt with quick enough, which is my issue. Like, we know how bad this situation is.
Yeah.
The Donald Sterling thing was done.
Yeah.
Came out and was like, nah, you're done. Like, Adam Silver rolled up to his place, got his casket. It's like, nah, you done.
Catch these hands. Was that Adam Silver? Or was that what's his name?
I think it was Silver. Silver's been in the place. I think David Stone was still alive at that
Gotcha.
point.
Yeah, he's only passed like 2 years ago.
I think so. Yeah, 2-3 years ago.
Gotcha.
But it's a whole
Maybe
shit
they
show.
just really want him dead to rights.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever been in a situation with like a real shitty like boss that's like sexist, racist?
Not
person?
really.
Yeah.
Being a white male, I never really had to deal with much of that.
I'd assume actually being a white male as you are, have you had actually?
I thought you were going to say you're the racist and sexist
No.
boss.
I mean, I guess it depends if you've had white male, bosses.
Most of them or have been white females.
Because usually, when you get like I'm not gonna stereotype, but you're not excluded from those like
No.
racist talks, if that makes
No,
sense.
yeah, 100%. Like being a white male, you get the best pass straight away.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with any bullshit off the bat.
I don't think I did have one. So one of my previous bosses, and I'm not going to out them,
But I remember we were doing interviews for a new position.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the place I work currently. But we're going through resumes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one girl who is of a specific race.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately my boss went, nah, we wouldn't want to work with someone like that. And that threw me and my colleague off. We were
what do
like-
you say at that point? You just go wide-eyed, look at each
Yeah.
other and say, did you just fucking hear that?
Yeah, I mean, I was shortly gone off because they were actually hiring to replace me because I said I was gone.
Okay.
But yeah, that was like that really threw me off because because she is a female, a woman,
Yeah.
and also a minority.
Yeah.
So I would have thought that hiring a woman
Yeah.
of a different nationality would be up your alley.
Yeah.
No, apparently not. It really threw me off. So I've had like obviously nothing Sava levels, but there's been some racism.
There's
and
been
shit,
some bullshit.
in the workplace. You can't escape it,
People
unfortunately.
in power aren't always the nicest.
No, and I always stand by this. If you're a billionaire, you're an absolute asshole.
Yeah, if you're a billionaire, how did you get your billions? Did you get every single dollar of them ethically and nicely?
God,
Probably
no.
not.
God no.
Or
Like,
if you didn't, did those means? Bron's a billionaire now, right? Every one of his Nike apparel, is that made ethically? Don't think so, Mr. James.
God damn.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
They're going to make money beside us.
Yep.
But,
All right. Well,
we'll wrap it up for this week.
because Adam is eagerly texting
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for joining us for Racism Chat 2021. But I'm excited for next week's basketball. We're getting Jokic back. You guys still have the best scorer in the world, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, that got me.
Yeah, he's been the best scorer on your team, really.
Look, he is. He shot
He's
like
been the
7
most
from
efficient.
10
Yeah.
the other night. It's insane.
He's been your most efficient scorer. So my boy's balling out. Happy about that. And Jokic will be back soon. And I think Miami are playing Denver next week. So for next week's pod, we'll see if there's been another little tussle, little rumble in the jungle.
Oh shit! Yeah, there's gonna be nothing.
Oh, there's absolutely going to be nothing.
Gonna be nothing.
No, to be nothing.
It is what it is. These guys, it's all fake.
All fake tough guy stuff.
Obviously Jokic did get pissed off, but it doesn't mean anything.
No, it wasn't. He didn't throw a punch.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So if you've made it to this far, thank you very much. It's the favorite part of our week every week. We are on Spotify, Anchor, Google Pod, Apple Pod, YouTube, Last FM, Nonstop Pop FM. Contact your local radio station. We'll try to get on there too. We do a weekly podcast every week. If you could join us every week, that'd be great. If you could tell your friends, that would be absolutely incredible. Thank you very much, guys. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.